I'm April, your cat health coach, and I'm interviewing my mama, my very first interviewee,
Yay!
Wendy Arguin,
When the
to
babies are
just ask her
sleeping.
some questions about what life is like as a cat breeder. And as many of you know, I used to be breeding myself. I've been retired out of it for about 4 years now. So obviously I know some of these things, but I'm gonna just, do this like an interview to give you guys the info so you can just learn more. So yeah, so first thing I guess is if you could just tell us a little more. I think a lot of people want to know really like what a typical day looks like for you, to just know sort of what the life as a breeder really is. So can you kind of give us a rundown of like what a typical day looks like what is your morning routine?
Well, I typically get up and start feeding everyone, of course, and that process takes like 20 minutes or so. And then after I get done feeding, I get my coffee because most times they don't let you get your
Always need
coffee
coffee.
first. Yeah, and then
So
I'll start
so you
with
actually
some
feed
of
them
my
before you have
chores.
coffee.
Oh
That's
yeah,
impressive.
because they don't. Yeah,
they
they want to be
really they
first,
really
of
do take
course.
priority.
Yeah, and then I'll
And
start my process of scooping pans and just start cleaning everyone. And then, a little bit later, you go around, pick up plates. So I'll typically spend 3 to 4 hours um, doing my cat chores, cleaning, feeding, watering, making sure cat pans are clean and mamas and babies are clean. And then I get ready to go to work. And I work at CVS, typically 3 to 11 most days. So, and
yep,
then I go to work, and then when I get home, it's feed them dinner,
I
and
remember those
then
days. So hang on,
check.
let me back up. So
Okay.
3 to 4 hours every morning,
Yeah.
just the morning routine to care for the kitties.
Right.
So I think that's a really big point to highlight for everybody. Um, Most people that I chat with, I don't think really have that type of insight to realize just how time inclusive this hobby really is. This is a huge commitment.
Well, it's more than a
So
hobby. Yeah, it's a
I want to make
commitment.
sure that I highlight that.
For sure.
So also for everyone, I wanted to ask what you're feeding all of your cats these days.
I feed raw food. I buy it in Florida from a place that makes pet grind food. They grind it, so it's the right ratio meat to bone, and then they ship it to me with dry ice, so it's frozen.
Sorry, showing off my soda cup.
And it's cute.
Okay, yeah. So
They ship it to me frozen, and then I add the supplements and a little bit of greens and vegetables and stuff for them.
so basically, you make homemade raw food. You buy it all pre-ground
Right.
with the bone and the organ, and then you add the supplements and the greens. So that's a
Yep.
whole nother commitment that you have to do. Like, how often are you making the food? Like making the batches of food, like every few days or every week?
Every feeding.
Every feeding you have to
I
make new
mix
batches.
up yeah.
How
So it's fresh. You don't want
how much
to go
food
bad.
how many pounds of food are you feeding a day?
About 8 pounds.
8 pounds of food a day. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that gives everybody a
4
perspective.
pounds.
Yeah,
Right.
I know at one point I think we were feeding upwards to like 10 to 12 pounds a day.
Right.
So
Yeah, sometimes when I have a lot of litters, then the kittens are eating, yes.
so that's a big job.
So, and it's, costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. So that's pretty much your morning routine. And so then you do have another job as well, right? Why don't you tell people a little bit more about that? Like,
I work
what's your
at
schedule?
CVS
Do you
as
work
a
full time,
shift
part time?
supervisor. Full time.
You work full
I
time.
work as a supervisor at CVS.
Okay,
And
so
I typically work 3 to 11s, but sometimes it's 7 to 3.
so you've got 8 hours at CVS, then 3 to 4 hours in the morning. So you're already
yeah,
at a 12-hour day right there. And then
yeah.
tell us about your evening routine.
And then at night it's the same thing. I come home and get everybody fed, and of course, there's always a little bit of cleaning up with moms and babies, especially when you have kittens that are 6 to 7 week mark. They make big messes, so so it's
Yeah,
another hour or so in the evening doing more chores, and then I
especially
finally
when
get to sit down and relax.
they start making you little Tootsie Rolls, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
the
those were big fun. All
yeah.
right, so you've got 5 to 6 hours on average every day that you're spending just caring for the cats on top of
Yeah,
your full-time job. So, again, I think that's a huge important piece for people to understand just the type of time commitment that it requires. And that's obviously a huge responsibility. So, in your opinion, what does somebody have to really understand and commit to really be a cat breeder?
it's a commitment. It's definitely, you have to really be devoted to it for sure, because there really is no vacations. There's no, I do manage to get time on days off to maybe go to a movie and go to dinner, but it's a full-time round the clock job. You got to be up all night sometimes delivering kittens, and it's definitely a commitment.
Yeah, a
You gotta,
big.
devote your life to it, basically.
Yeah, you do.
So
You do. So
I
yeah,
wouldn't change it. I love it.
I think one thing that I used to tell people to try to help them understand is it's really along the same lines as sort of raising a baby, but constantly the baby never grows up. Wouldn't you say that's
Right.
a good
Yep.
a good analogy?
Yep.
You're gonna miss a lot of things, basically. A lot of events, a lot of
Yep.
socializing, weekends, a lot of sleep is gonna be lost, disturbed,
Yep.
everything. So yeah, that's a
Yep.
huge thing for
It's a big commitment.
people to know. So last couple things. What's the most rewarding part of you and your experience breeding cats?
Oh, what
And
I'm
then
doing right
what's
now.
yeah.
Just spending time with them and enjoying them. How can nobody not love these guys?
And who do you have there anyway, by the way?
This is Athena and
Okay.
her babies. She got
Aw.
4 little babies.
They are cuties. And okay, what's the most challenging part that you've experienced since being a cat breeder?
I would say when they go home. That's the toughest part.
Oh yeah,
Just,
I remember those
you
days.
spend so much time loving and caring for them, and then you like have to turn them over. I get tears in my eyes just think about it. But yeah,
Aw.
it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. Especially like with the adults, like the Athena, for instance. I've had her since a baby, and it's going to be really tough to retire her at the end of this year. So
Oh
it'd be
yeah.
hard to let her go. I just would love to keep them all, but I can't. I have 2 that I've kept
Yep.
as my pets, but I can't keep
I
them
definitely
all.
would agree that was the hardest thing, especially the adult cats that you have in your life for years and then have to find them pet homes because you just can't keep them
Right.
all, or you can't devote as much time and attention and space for everybody. So
Yeah,
that
it's
was
not.
I
Yeah,
still have
it's
certain
not
cats
fair for
that
them.
people have that adopted from me in the past that I have a hard time seeing their photos online. When I look, I'm like, oh, I just want to cry.
Yeah.
I can't see their
Yeah.
photos. All right, so we got to wrap this up. My last question is, as a breeder, what is the thing that you suggest for someone to do if they think they want to begin breeding cats?
Definitely do your research, and like I said, you have to be ready and prepared to devote your life to it. This is my life. This is what I've chosen, and I love doing it. So it's not something to take lightly, that you like, oh, I can just breed a few. No, it's a
Right.
round the clock commitment that you have to devote to these guys.
Yep, absolutely. And then my only other point would be recommending them to reach out to an experienced breeder and finding a mentor.
Yeah.
Because
right.
especially with the hairless breeds, there's so much to know, so much to need to know to do things well and right, so that you're making good, healthy babies, and you're not getting yourself into a big disaster by not knowing what to do. I think a lot of people take
doing your research,
take it really for granted. They they maybe just saw cats outside, and oh, they had babies, and it just seems so easy. Mom just has babies and you're good to go. And once you get into actually breeding the cats, you realize that there's so much more that goes into that. You can really learn and research and learn about cats and learn about breeding, I would say, for your whole life, and still not really know it all. I mean, I've had 14 years experience, and I definitely know a lot, but I still learn new things all the time, and especially on the medical side of things, because medical changes all the time, and there's new advances all the time. There's new things that I just learned last week. I'm always learning stuff. So all right, cool, we will wrap this up. So thank you very much for your time and showing us your kitties. And our first live interview. So thank you everyone that's watching, and I hope you enjoyed. This was everything about the life of a cat breeder, and everything you could want to know about the life of a cat breeder. So chat with you later, Mom. Love you. Bye.
Love